I'm rolling here, woman. How are you
Hi,
doing?
I'm
Michella
fabulous.
Cifaldi, my first cousin who looks very similar to my oldest daughter, Donna.
Who has my name, middle name?
It's true. We named her middle name after you. It's quite ironic now that I think about it. And she ended up looking very similar to you. Unbelievable. See the shirt I'm wearing? Look at the shirt.
Yes, I see it.
That's a
From
family
one of
cruise.
the.
Yeah. If you're watching this, not listening, we went on a cruise with our whole family, about 45 family members. A couple months ago. Thank God we dodged a bullet. If it was any later, we probably could have been stuck at sea, or
Would
who
have been
knows?
stuck.
I know, or got sick, right?
All right, seriously.
Holy shit. So I have my cousin Michelle on here, and one of the reasons I wanted to get her on my podcast is because of the transformation she's made from originally wanting to be a model and then ending up in the world of fitness. And
Yes.
if you know anything about me, I don't care if it's a program or my book, the Model Bible, I always talk about how you have to learn modeling isn't, the answer a lot of times. It's about segueing that or learning from there into another career, regardless if it's acting, it could be whatever, fitness, it could be whatever it is, but you can't get caught up with if you fail as a model or you don't carry on the career for longer than a certain amount of time, that there's a lot of different avenues. And that's kind of what you went through to a certain degree, right?
Yeah, that is. I mean, thank God I didn't do modeling because I did not have the confidence back then. So, yeah, but that was when I was younger. So, I mean, thank God I wasn't like depending on that at all in my adulthood.
Yeah, but what was interesting is with you started to get some leverage as a young girl, right? Let's start from the beginning. You didn't go to modeling school. Like, say, for instance, your mother. Like, we both went to Barbizon back in the 80s to a modeling school. And back then it was a lot
Yeah, I
different.
did.
Oh, did you go to
I went
modeling
to
school?
I went to John Robert Powers, yeah, for acting and modeling, but
I didn't know you went
yeah.
to John Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Schaumburg?
I don't know. Maybe Rosemont. I don't know if they had one in Rosemont.
Could be, but they're more driven for acting than they are modeling. I mean, they kind of throw
Right.
modeling in there, but it's not like, say, hypothetically Barbizon or John Casablanca.
Right.
Yeah, that's still a very good school. I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
did you graduate from there, or did you just take some classes? What'd you do?
No, I graduated. I actually went to I think I was in 8th grade. We ended up going to New York. I went to New York for like they had a whole thing. It's called iPop. I still have like my headshots and everything, and
Yeah.
came a long way. But yeah, I did the whole program there for both modeling and acting, actually.
I'm trying to think too. I think there's a John Roberts program because I went in there and talked to those people after I did the book and things. Or was it before the book? And that was near O'Hare Airport. I think that's the same place you're talking about. It was like at a building. It looked like a commercialized building, right?
Yep.
Like a bank building. It looked like that.
Yeah.
That's where you went. I never knew that. That's a very nice place.
Yeah, it was nice.
All right. So you, growing up, because I used to talk to you a lot about modeling, because I used to model when I was younger. Do you think you wanted to model because your mother started modeling or was in?
And no, to be honest, I didn't even know that history of my mom, really. Like, it was never really shared with me, but I don't know why I wanted to model. I think because everybody told me I should do it. So I was like, oh, let me do it. But looking back, it's like I was like, I wish I would have did it when I had the confidence that I have now. Like, I wish I had the confidence that I have now back then, because I could have probably like really stuck with it and went a long way.
Yeah, and your mom's very unique because she's like a 6-foot blonde. And and all her daughters, except for maybe one, doesn't really necessarily look like her. And none of them had the height she had, but they're all
right.
You're all still tall in your own right.
Yep.
I don't know if you know the story when your mom. I went to Barbizon in high school, and your mom, if I'm not mistaken, went around high school as well. And we were both from the same neighborhood. And I think I knew your mom before your dad.
What?
I knew of her because I used to hang out with this girl named Sheila Knox in LaGrange, and either her sister or babysitter was friends with your mom. So I would see your mom, but it wasn't like we would talk or anything.
Oh my
And
gosh, that's
yeah,
hilarious.
it's funny, right? And then when your dad brought her, I remember the first time he brought her around, he picked me up in the car with Aunt Barb, and she was young. She had to be 16, 17 years old. I don't know. But I threw the garbage away and I got in the car and I go, yeah, he's like, this is Barb. And I was like, oh, no. And then we started talking. I said, I think I see you, and people would hang out at different parks, and she was so tall. How would you miss Aunt Barb?
Right.
And then I remember even when I was younger, when she found out I was going to Barbizon, and I think I was 16, 17 years old, she's like, I went to Barbizon. And your mom's only
Oh my god.
4 years older than me. If you think about
I never really even thought about that in that way.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, I always looked at your mom like my older sister, right? I mean, that's how I looked at her.
Right.
And she liked modeling, she liked fashion. You know how your mom is. And she was so fun back then. And she knew I liked it as well. So anyways, that's a funny backstory.
Huh.
Yeah, so I thought with you modeling, I thought it was maybe because your mom did it. But I also thought, obviously you're getting a lot of attention. You were very beautiful as a child, as a teenager. And I had no idea actually how you ended up wanting to be a modeling, going to school. And then I knew you went to New York, but what happened after New York then?
Then it was like, it was like the confidence. I just really didn't have the confidence. Didn't have like, like at the time I didn't know that, but like now in retrospect, it's like, oh yeah, like I wasn't confident in doing what I was doing. So like when I was acting, it was like you could tell I wasn't confident. I was just doing what they're telling me to do, but not putting my own spin on it. So yeah, after I came back, it was like I just stopped doing it kind of. I would do like shoots here and there. Like people would always ask me like, oh, are you a model? And I would do like things on the side, but I never seriously considered it. I mean, like pursued it.
Did you do any runway work at all?
No. Mm-mm.
No.
No. That was, no, I didn't.
Yeah. I want to create a program. I just haven't got around to it. I did a lot of videos for it. It was a mastering your self-confidence regarding trying to break in the industry. And a lot of models, just like a lot of people, confidence, the one thing that holds them back. Well,
yeah, I believe
a lot of them have confidence to take pictures, put them on Instagram, and go that route, right? But when the reality comes in, like you have to be a professional representing a brand, doing runway on a high level, doing photography or getting photo shot, just marketing yourself for the right agency, management. It's a whole different mindset because then it becomes a business. They look at it something that's kind of fun. They want attention until they kind of get the attention, but they don't realize it's not the attention they think.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. It takes effort. It's not just you're beautiful and that's it. Like there's more to it than that. Yeah. And that's what I didn't know. I think going into it back then, it was like, because so many people were like, oh, you're so pretty, you should do this, like you should be a model. But it was like, yeah, but that took effort to do that. And I wasn't prepared to sell myself in that way.
Yeah, and I think a lot of young people were watching America's Top Model, say, for instance, to a certain degree. Right. Mm-hmm. And they think it's going to be like that. Right. Yep. Kind of like, right. It's nothing like that.
Right.
And then, my daughter, Demi, your cousin, she was modeling for a long time.
Yeah, she was.
She was doing runway things. Do you think?
Really good.
Yeah, she was really good for her age. Do you think her modeling even well before you had an influence on you, or was it just not even on your radar? That was just like your little cousin. She just does modeling and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I don't think I thought about it like that. I don't think I was really like piecing the pieces together. I was just like, I'm just going to do it for the hell of it. Like no rhyme or reason, no actual goal in the end. It's just, I'm going to do this.
Right. And then, so let's talk about, you were raised basically with 4 other sisters and then 2 other cousins for the most part. So you had 7 girls plus your mom and then your dad, who's very athletic and strong. But now, if you look at you're right in the middle, legit middle.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I was on the back end.
Yeah, you're on the back end, but right. But if you throw an Annie, I guess you're really on the back end a little more than I thought.
I'm really on the back end.
You're on the back end. Little. Now, a lot of you, the sisters and cousins that you were raised with, really started to fall in love with fitness and getting in shape and
Yeah.
weightlifting
Right.
and CrossFit, aerobics, yoga, all these things. How did that happen amongst all of you guys? That was kind of something I didn't see
I
coming.
know it is kind of funny because we weren't. I don't think any of us saw that coming. I mean, Nat was always super athletic. Bianca was
Yeah.
athletic, but
Yeah.
um, I think once I got into massage therapy, and then I like started learning about the body, I really wanted to learn about the body from like the outside or from the inside out instead
Sure.
of the outside in. And so I started getting into fitness, and then I didn't even know I was going to get into it as seriously as I did. I started working out, and then Gianna started working out. I'm not
Hmm.
really sure what inspired her, but she started working out. I don't know. We just all kind of had our own journey with it. For me, it was very therapeutic. I had a lot of stuff going on at the time that I started to do fitness, so that was like my escape and my go-to.
Yeah, because Gianna always took care of herself, but she was more known for being a hairstylist, right? And then let's take the next
Yeah,
sister. Marisa was always very health conscious, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah,
She was very
right.
coordinated, but it wasn't like she was a jock by any means, right?
No, never,
She
never.
was more of a bookworm kind of girl, but she looks,
Yeah,
you know,
she's like Earth.
yeah,
She's like the Earth person in the family.
yeah, but she had incredible genetics. It's almost like she looks like an athlete, even though she isn't, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, no, no. Marisa, I'm sorry. Marisa was athletic. No, I don't mean to say was. She's still whatever. But she did kickboxing and boxing for a long time and belly dancing,
I
which
didn't know
none
that.
of us. Yes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She was athletic. I forgot.
My goodness, I don't remember even her doing that. Shows what I know. And then obviously the sister, not obviously, but the sister that is older than you, Natalina. Now
Right.
she was the most probably well-known at, well, no, I can't say that. Bianca too. That's wrong. So, but she really started athletics at a young age, your sister Natalina, and then she segued into even playing basketball in college and then coaching as well,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Right. Yep.
And then your younger sister became a very well-known volleyball player, right? Even nationally ranked
Yep.
at one time in her position. Is that
Yeah. She was. I. Yeah, I believe so. She was really good.
she
She
and
was.
she
Yeah.
she went to college as a scholarship as well for volleyball, right?
Yep. She did.
So you were in between these two very athletic sisters. Let's call it for what it is. Do you think they had any influence on you? Kind of,
Oh, you know
because
what? Now that you
you
no,
weren't
now
really
that
into
you say
fitness.
that, yeah, now that you say this, it's all coming to me. Okay, so modeling, the reason modeling was like in middle school, I did all the sports. I did track, cross country, basketball, volleyball, any soccer. I did it all. But Nat was so good at basketball. I
Hmm.
couldn't take being in her shadow, and people all knew me as Nat's little sister already. And then it's like you're then I wasn't comparing to her in basketball. So I was like, I'm gonna do modeling. I'm gonna do acting. I'm gonna go my own way. And it
Right.
didn't turn out, but like that was really what inspired me to do that. And then being in between them, I mean, no, when I started fitness, I wasn't really net by the time I started fitness, well, Bianca was I guess doing volleyball and that was in basketball, but it wasn't like in a fitness way. It was just in my eyes, it was like sports. For me, it was fitness was like weight training and lifting heavy and like its own little category.
Was competition though? I mean, with all these sisters and cousins, including Annie, if you throw in there too, because now she's
Right.
unbelievable, right? I mean, she's training. She had 3 kids. She looks amazing. She's always working out. Was
Yeah.
competition with all you girls fierce? I mean, I was around you guys a lot, even working out with your father
Yeah.
in the basement all the time, but I don't see what's going on amongst the sisters, especially from, say, an athletic point of view. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I would say for me, the most probably me and Nat. Nat always like anything. It was anything. Like anything Nat did, it was like I had to do it. And if I didn't do it, she was like, "Why stop acting like such a girl? Stop being such a girly girl. You need to do it. You need to try." And I'm like, so it was like very between me and her, it was very much so
Yeah.
to a point where where it completely pushed me away from it. But I mean, I don't know about the rest of the sisters. I guess Bianca and Nat probably had some competition.
Yeah, because I mean, they're both literally, they went to college to play sport, which isn't
Right.
easy. I mean, that's beyond just being an athlete when you start getting
Right.
scholarships or playing sports in college. And you were kind of right in the middle of there. And
Yeah.
let's face it, those two got a lot of attention. Let's call it for what it is. I mean,
Oh yeah.
each sister in their own right gets attention, I think, in many different, it could be Gianna with hair and style, right? And you could say Reese with her, she's
Right.
so brilliant. I mean, she's really educated, you take Nat
Right.
again with her basketball, even soccer, she excelled in very well.
Oh yeah, she
And
did.
Bianca, and then even Annie, like I said, with her working out, and then you kind of get in the mix. It's got to be a little hard sometimes. Did you ever feel like,
Not now. I mean, then maybe, yeah.
sure,
Then probably, I'm sure. Now it's like, no, not
no,
now.
no.
Oh,
I'm like
no.
back then we were either going to Nat's basketball games or soccer games or
Yeah,
volleyball,
right.
or we're going to
Yep.
Bianca's volleyball games. Like,
Yep. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
basically. Yeah,
Right.
that was what it was. Well, when Bianca was in volleyball, I wasn't really around so much because I had stuff going on with my family. But so I didn't really. So that's why maybe I don't recall like the competition with Bianca, because it was like that was kind of during a phase where I wasn't really around. But Nat, definitely. But yeah, it was just, oh, it was a pain in the ass being in her shadow.
And well, she's kind of like, it's funny. She legitimately is the middle sister. And I always goof around with your mom. We always make fun of it. And so I always say she's the most favorite. She gets the most attention. Like,
Yes.
but it's true. The truth is the truth. Oh, that's
Yes, it is.
hilarious.
No, if you ask her that now, though, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know how she would respond to it. Now that we're all older, it's kind of,
It's
it's
changed.
just different.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, things
now it's
change
about
so
the
much.
kid. Yeah. Now it's about your kid,
Right.
not about yourselves. All
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So when I was in Chicago, and then you started to tell me you were going to school to be a massage therapist first, correct? Isn't that what you
Yep.
were set out to do? And then you went to
Yeah.
school. What'd you end up? Why'd you do that? What was that whole thing?
So the time I made a decision to go to massage school because I was in the middle of studying criminal justice. I think I almost got my associate's degree actually in criminal justice. Like that was what my heart was set on. But then I found out about this massage therapy program, which was only a year long. And at the time, I think I was 21 or 20. I don't know, 20 or 21. And I was like, oh, I could try it. Like I could try to go to school for it, and it's only a year. And if I want to change my mind afterwards, I still have plenty of time to go back to school. So I started to go to school for it, and I ended up really like loving the sciences of the body, because in like high school you learn stuff, but it's like you don't really like apply it. It wasn't like applicable at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as soon as I like started to learn about the body, like I don't know, I just fell in love with it. So, and that's how I began massaging. And then like I said, personal training became after that, maybe like a year after that, because it was like I just wanted to know the body to an even deeper level. So I felt like if I was a massage therapist and a personal trainer, it's like you're winning on both ends.
Mm-hmm. So you got a degree in both? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Well, personal training, no. The certificate, and then massage therapy is a license. So I have both of those.
Nice. Where are you at now? Well, I know it's the Corona time and everything, but where do you normally work? Do you work at like a massage envy and then at a gym? Because I've
No,
never worked.
no.
Well, how's that work?
I work for myself, so I travel to clients. So I take on I have a handful of clients who are some professional athletes, some like higher, like just people that utilize massage on a more regular basis than your average person who maybe might go to massage envy or something like that. So I go to their home, set up, give them a massage. Even personal training, I meet people at the gym, train them, or go to their homes. I had a lot of clients that I went to their homes and trained them at their homes. But everything is, I'm on my own completely. I'm no longer employed by anybody. And yeah.
Did you build up a reputation though first working somewhere and then,
Oh yeah.
or was it, where'd you first work?
So I was at Export. So I started,
Okay, yeah.
I started at Export for massage therapy right as soon as I graduated.
Okay.
And it was perfectly set up because the other massage therapists, there were two other massage therapists there who were completely booked. So I caught all of their overflow, and my books got filled up really quick. And then I was young. It was like I was like cool. I don't want to say like cool, but you know what I mean. Like I
Well, I
was
mean, you're a
younger,
beautiful woman. Let's call it for what it is,
so
too. So,
I
I
yeah
mean, that'll get you a lot of attention as well. I mean, not many people look or have your type of body probably either. So people want to look like you as well. I mean, that help,
yeah. So
right?
that's how that transpired. So I I did that, and then I was at Export. Started at Export, got clientele right away, sold up my books, and then they kept asking me to be a personal trainer there. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. And I ended up actually being the first massage therapist and personal trainer to work at Export, like
Okay.
at the same time. So, yeah, once I started at Export, I mean, I eventually just built up my confidence in my own, like my own style of massage. And the people that liked it and stuck with me. And then I eventually like got to now where it's like I'm massaging professional athletes and kind of working on the people that I really was wanting to work on from the beginning.
Why did you leave export? I mean, if it ended bad, you don't have to explain that. Or did you just
No,
leave
no,
because
no.
you said, I want to be independent?
Yeah, I said so Export, I knew when I started there, I was like, this is my first thing. I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna ride it out for as long as I can, and eventually I'm gonna move forward from it. And so when the time came, it presented itself. It was just like, all right, I'm gonna move forward. And then I actually ended up working for so at that point I ended up working for Kohler Water Spa, which is like a really respected spa. It's one of the top in Chicagoland area. And I worked there part time while I was continuing to just kind of branch out on my own. So that's how that happened.
Well, I'm proud of you, man. You've done so much.
Thank you.
You're so
Thank you.
young, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
I
am.
think I think you shocked a lot of people. I was shocked. I think a lot of people what you kind of accomplished, right?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I
In a
mean,
short amount of time, too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I meet a lot of like, I forget because I'm very hard on myself, but like when I massage like new people and people that have traveled all over the world and they get massage or whatever, I talk to them like about the body and they're like, you're like one of the best people that I've ever met. Like, you're one of the best massage therapists I've ever had. And it's like, yeah, I guess I do. Like, there's a lot of older people, massage therapists that I know that it's like, I don't know, it's different. It is. I did accomplish a lot. I forget that a lot.
Yeah, but you're strong too. I mean, you're not a small girl, right?
Yeah.
Right? You're not some
Well,
5
that too.
girl at Massage Envy. You look like
Right.
basically, like a Kardashian that's really fit and in shape.
Yeah.
But I think you're just don't. You probably underestimate how strong you are,
Yeah.
and you probably shock a lot of people when you
Yeah,
do your
that's true.
massage. I remember when you were doing massage therapy, you're like, I need to do X amount of hours. Can I do you? And you were just starting, and you were so like just describing things. I'm like, she's loves this. I was telling your mom.
I do. I
Yeah.
just actually, right before this, I massaged my dad.
Oh,
And every time he's like, oh, why do you have to do that so hard? I'm like, who would have thought like I would be able to put you in pain? But
and he's a bull.
yeah, I guess all the lifting has paid off. He's a bull.
Yeah, I mean, me too. My weight fluctuates, and I get a lot of massages. But like when I said I like a deep tissue, you're kicking my ass. I'm like, I like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you're.
now it's even better because I know how to use my body even like an easier way for me, where it's like I'm still using a lot of um, pressure.
Yeah. So what's your next move here? So you just want to keep doing this for as long as you can, or you want to start your own business, or get your own studio, or what's?
I have no. So there's a few things that I'm thinking. So I started my brand. It's called I Am Mine, which is more so like it's kind of like a ministry. It's just like tying together everything that I do as like everything about me as a person into one brand. So it's like faith based, and then it's like I have my massage tied into that, my personal training tied into that. So everything, instead of having like just Michella, it's like I tie everything to I Am Mine. So I have clothing for that. I'm going to continue to branch out in that way. I have fitness groups that I normally run in the summertime and in the spring for women. And then I do actually want to open up well, I am going to open up not a studio, but it's a space, and it's going to be a unique twist of like focus, meditation, and massage all in one. So that is the next big thing on my agenda.
That's awesome. I mean, that is honestly awesome. With your body the way it is, are
Yeah.
you, because like a lot of our family members, we're always eating. And I'm always eating. Me and Nat and your younger sister, we are always constantly either going to Portillo's, Bono, Freddy's,
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts,
Right.
Taco Bell with your young sister, wherever. You never see
Right.
you jump on the food bandwagon with all of us. I never even pay
You don't even
attention
know what
to
my
what
diet
you,
is.
yeah, how do you stay in that type of shape? I'm not just saying this to say that, are you on a certain diet? Are you taking certain supplements? What is your
um
angle?
so at the beginning of prior to quarantine, I was never on a diet. I never tried to be on a diet. I mean, I would do fasting for like spiritual reasons, but I was never like, I'm going to stick to a diet. But when quarantine started, one of my friends challenged me to do plant-based. So I did that for 2 weeks, like completely plant-based. And then now I'm just eating, like a majority of my snacks and food that I eat is plant-based, but I have incorporated ground turkey and chicken. So, and that has made a big difference actually with seeing results of my body. Not that I like needed to see results of my body, but I just like to challenge myself and see how else can I transform my body. So I do that, but I never was like seriously into junk food to begin
Yeah.
with. I was never into like sweets like that.
Mm-hmm.
I actually get sick if I eat too many sweets. Dairy, I'm kind of lactose now that I've gotten older. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just I listen to what my body likes and what my body doesn't like. So if I know that something is going to irritate my stomach, I just altogether stay away from it.
Yeah, as much as I know about fitness, say different style workouts and all that, weight training and all that, I never really studied nutrition the way I should have. Have you studied it, or do you just kind of know what you know when you just know your own body?
Um, I definitely would say I know my own body. I'm way more in tune with what my body says to me now, like right away, instead of just like continuing to try to push the limit. Marisa, my sister, and Gianna. Well, Marisa, I'm around her a lot. She studies everything. Her and Gianna both actually they study everything. So being around them a lot, I mean, they educate me on things that I don't necessarily know, but kind of like
Right.
have already assumed. So, um, yeah, but I've never studied nutrition. I've considered it, but I just never got to it.
And when you're training people, do they ask you a lot of times about nutrition?
Nutrition, yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
What do you
Yeah.
tell them? You point them to somebody else, they go to a
I
nutrition.
know.
Or do
Yeah,
you just say,
like
hey, I'm going to show you what works for me type thing?
like well, I do tell them. I say this is what works for me, like, and not even that it's like a set diet or anything, but I'm like, the best advice that I could give anybody in regards to nutrition is your water intake. Take it very seriously. I'm very
Of course.
I like that's number one goal every day. Make sure I take the right amount of water. That, and then just listening to your body. Listen to what your body says. If your stomach doesn't feel good after eating something, then listen to that. Don't just ignore it and keep doing that. So I tell them that. Or if your stomach like feels heavy, if something makes you feel bloated or heavy, then obviously stay away from that. One of my good friends, Selena, she's like taking this very seriously. She's like very into nutrition. So sometimes I will get things from her, or I'll
Mhm.
recommend people go to actual nutritionist because that's not my field.
Right. You taking any supplements, vitamins? What do you take? Anything?
No, no. I get a ton of vegetable. I mean, like my vegetable and fruit intake is like very important part of my diet, but I don't take any supplements really. I need to start taking it again. Glucosamine for my knee, fish oil, vitamin B. Aside from that, no really supplements like protein, but I don't even like protein powder anymore. I kind of just make sure I get my protein in my diet.
Gotcha. What now? I've seen you some of your boot camps on Facebook, right?
Yes.
What
Hmm.
what type of training are you teaching? So is it CrossFit? Is it weightlifting? I kind of, is it the lifting?
It's kind of
What is it?
so. It's more so. I would say it would be like not CrossFit. It was sometimes we use like band like resistance. Sometimes we use resistance or like bio exercises or body weight exercises. It was all basically like it's all like stuff that you would just do outside without really having to use any equipment. So in the whole purpose of that is just to get women together that don't may not feel comfortable working out and getting them in a place where it's like we're all kind of doing this together, where I'm doing it with them too. And I mean that was really the goal of it. It wasn't necessarily like but a lot of it was leg and booty emphasis. I would say that.
And you're a life coach. Tell me about this now. So, what you do so many different things. Who
Yeah.
comes? How's that working out for you? When you say a life coach, explain to me your perception of that. How you're helping people with that? Is it mainly just when you say a life coach? Is it mainly just driven towards something athletic, helping them in that realm, or is it to lose weight, gain muscle? They want to
No,
run a marathon. What
I
is it?
think no, not marathon. I never ran a marathon, but I mean,
No,
yeah,
no,
I
I'm
guess
saying,
I could
like
train
a life
somebody.
coach. If I was somebody,
Yeah,
I
right.
want to hire you as a life coach, what would you tell me about yourself, or how would you think you could help me?
Well, I do not. When I say I've never hired, I mean like been hired as a life coach, but that was the whole point of me creating I Am Mine because it basically is just a lifestyle, and that's when people ask like, what is it? It's like it's a lifestyle.
Right. No, that's
It
awesome.
really is a lifestyle. I've learned so like in helping people. There's things that I so much that I have learned in the past year. I mean, I was in therapy for a really long time. I've like learned so much about habits, good habits, bad habits, just things like that, and kind of just helping people choose good habits or giving them an idea of habits to help them with whatever goal it is that they're trying to obtain, whether it's like writing or reading, working out. I mean, it all is one and the same, really. Once you can understand that everything is kind of, it all comes down to the like simple
Yeah.
principles, and you can understand those principles. It's like you could do whatever you want to do. That's why I said I wish I was confident back then to do modeling as I am now, because once you got the basic principles down, it's like everything branches off of that.
You can still do it, my dear. I'm sure you could. You could model
No.
very easily if you wanted to. I can assure you.
I don't want to.
You know what I don't think you realize too is someone like yourself, because I worked out for many years. I'm a lot older than you. But when you work out and you try to stay in shape or get strong, the effect you have on other people in your life.
Yeah,
So if you look
right,
at Donna, my younger daughter, she may look up to you and say,
right,
God, I want to look like, Michella, Demi, or, you have a
right.
lot of younger now nieces and nephew yourself, right?
Yes.
And you being in the
Hmm.
shape you are helps them a lot more than you think, right? Because a lot,
Yes,
a
that
lot
is
of us,
so true.
a lot of us didn't grow up. Well, I'm a lot older. When I was um, younger, a lot of people, as you know, our family, not they smoke or say some drink or some, it
Right.
wasn't that healthy of an environment. But me working out, I always wanted to make sure my
Yeah,
younger cousins like
we
you.
weren't brought up into it.
Yeah, I was like, I want to make sure my
Hmm.
cousins know there's another lifestyle than only eating junk food.
Right.
And I think you've really had an effect on a lot of people you may not realize, you personally.
I do think about that. Like I didn't really realize it, and I never did it. I never like got into it because of like, oh, I want people to like idolize me or like look up to me or anything like that. But like,
Yeah, and you're always evolving. I could tell you are the type of person too. You're not somebody who's going to get caught up with just being stuck somewhere. I think, as far as I've seen over the
no,
years with you, you're always trying to learn different things, and
always.
yeah, which is
Even
great.
now, like during the quarantine, I'm like re-studying freaking muscle functions, and I've been doing this for years. But it's like I feel like I could go back now and relearn something from it. And yeah, I don't ever want to be complacent in my career for sure.
No. Absolutely. Do you think in the future you're going to ever do anything like a marathon, a triathlon, or uh, something more extreme, or you think you'll just?
I've thought about it, to be honest. So, like, I don't know, this quarantine has just brought me so many challenges. So, I've recently started running and I ride the bike. I like 4 days a week at least, and I'm running 1 to 2 days a week, which
Mhm.
I was never able to do like long distance running. I mean, since I was a kid.
Mhm.
And I don't know, maybe if somebody challenges me to it, I might take it
Mhm.
on.
Have you seen some of the podcasts I've been putting up? Like I don't know if you saw Guy Petrozelli. He's a professional athlete, does marathons, triathlons, stuff like that. But I've been putting up a lot of different people. One lady who lost 170 pounds, and now she's training she's been doing this a while. She trained
He
herself
does?
home to
Oh, I did see
lose.
that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So everybody's kind of has their own thing. I put one up today with that block therapy. Did you
Yes.
see that one? I don't know if you've heard
Yeah,
about
I didn't
that
get to
yet.
watch it yet, but yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of my friends and our family members, colleagues, and all them, they're really into fitness. So, including yourself, I
Yes.
wanted to get different opinions, and especially you. You're
I
very
mean, it
young.
is.
So, go ahead.
It's very much so a personal thing, and I always tell my clients that I always tell everybody that like it's very much so a personal thing, and like once you can understand that and stop like take that pressure off of yourself of like you have to do things a certain way or like this is the best way,
Right.
because everybody's gonna say their way, best way. But once you could just make it your own thing, and that was a lot of the reason of why I named it I Am Mine, because it's everything. It's your own journey. Like you're not meant to be under pressure while you're going through your journey. It's supposed to just be your own unique journey, and you don't have to put a label on it. You don't have to call it anything. It could just be whatever you want it to be. Your own unique little path.
And it's going to take time. I think I always
Yes.
describe that. People want, things to happen real fast. It's not going to happen. You got to realize it's going to take a lot of hard work, but
Yes.
don't get caught up with what happened with someone else.
Yes.
Don't get caught up with
Yes.
other people's genetics. There's always going to be somebody in better shape than you, probably
Oh
somebody
my
faster,
gosh.
stronger, fitter.
Right.
Forget
Yep.
all that shit. You're on your own journey. Can you hear the birds?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I
Can you
hear
hear
them.
the little birdies?
The little birdie.
I'm in a goddamn jungle over here. Thanks for coming on this. I love it, and I'm so proud of you, what
Yes.
you've done. It's unbelievable from even seeing your
For
journey
having
from a
me.
young girl. No, I mean, seriously, from even when you started off with just massage
Mm,
therapy and then a
thank
trainer and
you.
what you're doing, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. Like I told you, you don't realize how many other people you're inspiring. And
Thank
that
you.
goes a long way with a lot of people. So,
Yeah.
all right, Mama, I will
Yeah,
talk
you're
to you
right.
later.
Thank you for that, Rich.
All right, I'll talk
All
to
right,
you.
sounds good.
All right,
All right, bye.
bye.